All right, so just continuing on with the tour. Oh my gosh, totally freaking awesome. Look what I just walked up upon. That's right, I know what that is. Look at this thing. That beautiful structure right there, that amazing thing right there, that is St. Annie's and Bernardine Church. And let's go ahead and take a look at it. I'll get a little closer, and not sure if I'm gonna be able to bring the camera in there, but wow, holy crap, look at that thing. Beautiful church! Wow, just gazing upon it. I mean, look at this spectacular thing. I love all these like long, jagged, pointed kind of towers. And then over here you have another section with a little bit of different style. I mean, there are a lot of beautiful churches around the world, but when you get up next to them, when you see them in person, and you're right there looking at them, you can't disagree. These things are absolutely marvelous. No matter what your religion is or where background you come from, just on an architectural viewpoint, look at this thing. It is absolutely stunning. Check out each little column goes up, and then it gets smaller, and where the towers get pointier and shrinkier, and then it has almost like a modern day huge point tower to it that you see in a lot of different cities. But yeah, let's go ahead and see if we can see what's inside this beauty. These are kind of cool. As you walk up, it has these giant stone tablets, and they're kind of depicting stories about how the monks went through and basically their struggles while building this, or through the history. Just kind of cool to see. Not sure why these guys are huddled around a rifle, but I'm sure it had to do with some kind of strife and conflict back in their day. But here's another closer shot as I get near the church. Love this tower, absolutely love it. It's made of brick now, but actually this original church was made of wood in the 1400s, but suffered a fire. So it wasn't until the Franciscan monks here came back and rebuilt it in brick in the 1500s. Even though it's brick, it's very futuristic looking, and it looks like a bunch of rocket ships about to take off. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. Look at this. Just being out here and taking a look around, this is, oh man, I'm lost for words. I can't believe somebody built something like this. Ah, this is beautiful. All right, guys, here comes the real test. I'm about to walk into the church. So if I disappear or burn up, I'm sorry. I really enjoyed being alive. Forgive me of my sins, and let's see what happens. Wow. Look at this church. It is absolutely stunning. I have to whisper because we're not allowed to talk inside the church. All right, well, I made it out of the church. I didn't burn up, I didn't disintegrate. Guess I'm not as bad as I thought I was. But that was quite an experience. I mean, really filled my heart with a lot of good feelings and just a beautiful church. Hi guys. A beautiful place to come. And you can't not think of what it must have been like for the monks to be able to build such a beautiful structure and then to, you know, use it on an everyday basis. I did see they had a little mass going on in the side room, and I'm not sure about the exact schedule, but I'll go ahead and throw down in the description below a link to the website about this church. So if you want to come here, I'm sure you can catch a mass here if they still do it. They probably do it in Lithuanian, Russian, Polish, and maybe even English. But let's keep moving on. This is what I love about Old Town Vilnius. It just came out of this epic church. Over there you can see those cathedral peaks, and then right over there you can see those ones right there that kind of just signify this city amongst its beautiful churches, its old roads, and all the cool and interesting things going on that they do to preserve their culture and the history of this place. All right, now let's check out this door. All right, this door right here is going to lead us to the St. Annie's part of the church, and let's go inside and check it out. It's a smaller area, it's a smaller church, but still just as beautiful. Let's go inside and check it out. Well, that's going to pretty much do it for us walking around this section of Vilnius Old Town. Now, I want to take you up to the top of that old castle tower and look down upon Old Vilnius Town. So let's go take a walk back up to where I showed you that castle tower, and let's have a look down on the old town and around where the castle used to be and that great castle tower. All right guys, I'm standing just below Gedimino Tower, and we're gonna go up there and explore what's left of this ancient castle. From the looks of it, you can see that it's just the Gedimino Tower, which is symbolic here to Vilnius. As well, it's been standing for over 500 years. So let's go ahead and figure out how to get to the top of the hill, and then we can overlook and look down upon all of Old Vilnius Town. All right, as we make our ascent up to the top of this tower, if we look off to our left over here, you can see the Hill of the Three Crosses. And we went ahead and visited that last week. If you haven't seen that video, I'll go ahead and throw a card up there right now. You can check it out. But that was a really fun excursion itself. And now let's head up the hill and check out this tower and the castle and look down upon Old Vilnius. Okay, well, here is the entrance to start heading up. Keep in mind, at this current time, they are doing a little bit of construction, so they may have gates closed off, different times that they're open, but pretty much you start heading up this rock road. I know on the front part of the building, there's like an elevator that kind of takes you up the hill, and there's a set of wooden stairs, but we came in through the back end here, so we're just gonna use this rocky road and head up. It is a pretty steep incline, as you can see, but don't worry, they have this handrail. So if you need a little assistance, you can just hold on to this handrail and walk up. Alright, so as I mentioned before, if you can see off to my left right there, there is the little tram car elevator. Goes all the way to the bottom of the hill. So if you don't think you can make this hike, maybe you have some kind of situation where you can't walk up hills, don't worry, you can take the tram up and down to get to this beautiful thing. All right, so if we look behind me, you can see a lot of construction going on. You see some bulldozers, some people going ahead and recreating stuff. This used to be an entire castle back in the early 1400s. Although most of it has been destroyed and they're starting to rebuild it, like sections like this over here. And then the original tower, if you see right here, was built by the Duke in 1409 and was actually a third of the size that it is now. Later in the 1930s, they came through and reconstructed 2 other levels that gave it its current height. Pretty impressive. Let's see if we can get to the top of that sucker. Yeah, if we overlook over here, you can see the river Nearest cutting through the city. You can see kind of over here, you got the Central Bureau, you got the business district over here. There's our hotel, and yeah, some other beautiful church way over there. And you got the famous like Space Needle off in the distance. But this is kind of the new side of Vilnius, if you will. And then when we get to the top of the tower, I'll give you a look, looking down at Old Vilnius town. All right, so I'm standing at the entrance to head up to the tower. Hello. I just have one, please.
One adult ticket, yes?
Yes, please. Thank you. Got my ticket. All right, so upon entering, you got to purchase your ticket. It's about €5 for adults, 3 for children. But check this out right here. We have all this cool medieval kind of warfare things. And look at these giant stones. These aren't bowling balls. These are cannonballs. And these were cannonballs launched at this castle throughout the years in the early 1400s. Probably launched by this thing. Check this guy out. Look at it. It's like a scale model of a cannonball slinger to shoot these giant stones over and to, well, try to penetrate this castle. Now, let's walk up this creaky old stairs to the top and overlook the city. All right, so the first short set of stairs leads you to the first platform, and if you kind of walk around, you can see a lot of the ancient medieval weapons that they used. Like, look at these swords. That's pretty badass. And then if we look over here, we got a couple of tips to spears and axes. Check those out. Wouldn't want to be impaled by those. But what makes this really cool is, well, you can go up to each little tower and peek out on every level. Let's go take a look out this window. Ladies, looking for your knight in shining armor? Look no further. Yeah, it's pretty cool when you look at it. I mean, look at these giant wing things. I'm not sure what these are for. Oh, but look at this giant mace that he's got. It's attached to the back of his sword. That's pretty cool. Man, I would not want to be in a war in the medieval times. Some of these stuff, look at some of the tips on these things. All right, that little area that we went up to, it's actually a false alarm. That was just kind of a little museum to show you the kind of weapons that they used. Now, this stairwell is the stairwell to go to the top. Let's go check it out. Okay, well this stairwell is no joke, so you gotta be careful when you're going up it. It is steep. If you look down below, you definitely wanna be careful because, well, if you fall down these stairs, it's gonna hurt like hell. So just go slow, take it easy. There are people coming down as you're going up and vice versa, so just be careful going up to the tower. All right, I got to another level. Looks like this is some kind of museum. Another section of it, let's check it out. Ooh, I got a movie. That was pretty interesting. It's like 8 movie screens that kind of take you back in time a little bit, but we're gonna still keep heading to the top as we want to try to get to the top of this tower. Now, we're at, excuse me guys, we're at a different level. I'm not sure if this is level 2, 3, or where we're at, but it's cool. There's all kinds of like Lithuanian history going on. Just another corridor here on the tower. Let's keep walking and try to get to the top. All right, made it to the top. There it is, guys. Holy cow, this is absolutely stunning up here as I overlook all of downtown Old Vilnius. Let me go ahead and throw the shades on because it is quite sunny out today. All right, I'm back in the game. Wow, look at this. Unbelievable out there. You guys want to take a look? Check it out. All right, let me give you a look and a little bit of explanation of where we are. If we look down here, that is the museum and that is Cathedral Square. We were down there a little bit earlier, and then if you look where my finger's pointing, if you cross that street, that's Pilius Street. We walk down that street to go ahead and start off the morning. And then all of this area right here is considered Old Town Vilnius. And if we look over here, that cool, crazy Gothic looking statue building, that's St. Annie's Church. We were just there a little while ago. Pretty freaking awesome up here as we look over all of Old Town Vilnius. You know, one of the things I really like about this city is all the red rooftops, the orange and the rust kind of feel to it. But it's actually a well-constructed, city made of classical, Gothic, neoclassical, and Renaissance architecture. And standing above here, sometimes you just don't get to see this every day. So, well, you take it all in because it is absolutely gorgeous. Looking down on Old Town, it's pretty impressive. The actual Old Town consists of 887 acres of land mass. So pretty much this whole area. It has 70 streets and lanes and little alleyways going on in it. And there's over 1,400 little houses and buildings within Old Town Vilnius. Pretty damn impressive that it's still standing and that the architecture looks as gorgeous as it does still this day. Because this is one thing that you have to see. In 1994, UNESCO went ahead and made this a World Heritage Site because of its epic beauty and, well, its distinguished character for being one of the greatest, oldest medieval cities in the world. As we come to this side of the tower, we can look down and see where, well, down there it becomes some of the ruins that were left of this giant castle. And, well, they're going ahead and they're making improvements and restorations on it, trying to bring it back to its original form. One of the things that a lot of people don't know about this whole area, that it's not just a tower, it was an entire castle. And what the legend came from was that the Duke went hunting around this area. He grew tired of hunting and he drifted off into sleep and stayed overnight on this hill. Well, he had this really crazy dream about an iron wolf going ahead and guarding and protecting this hill. So back in those days, you would go to magicians to go ahead and analyze your dreams. So when he went back to town, he went and talked to the magician and they analyzed the dream and they thought, wow, you know, something must be up with this, or I don't know, some kind of voodoo magic stuff. And they went ahead and they started building this castle in year 1409. And that was, well, pretty much the start to go ahead and oversee and protect all of Vilnius. Pretty cool, huh? And if you look off over here, there's the hill of the Three Crosses. If you haven't seen that video, I'll go ahead and throw the card up there right now. You can check it out when I toured Vilnius and basically showed off that video, but that's pretty cool. And we got over here to my right is the river Nearest. Well, that's gonna do it for us today on Travel Man Dan. I hope you had a great time watching this video as I walked around and showed you a little bit about Old Vilnius town. And then I came up to this castle tower and overlooked all of Vilnius and showed you the cool sights and the really crazy tops of the buildings. I hope you saw some cool and interesting things. I hope you learned something new about Vilnius and Old Town Vilnius. And most of all, I hope you were inspired to get your ass out here to Vilnius and check it out for yourself. This place is unbelievable. If you like what I'm doing and you haven't already, go ahead, hit that sub button right there, ring the bell, give me a like, leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. I travel the world and I love to hear about your experiences, especially if you've been to Old Town Vilnius. Thanks again for watching. I'm Travel Man Dan, and remember, it's a big world out there. Make sure you see every bit of it.